Friends, Namaskar, hi, and a very big warm welcome to today's episode. In today's episode, I shall be speaking about one internationally acclaimed personality who has made India proud in his chosen field. But apart from his chosen area, he was an all round personality who could have shone easily into any of the other areas in which he was active had he chosen to concentrate more on those areas. I think by now you all would have realized that today I am going to talk about the famous filmmaker Satyajit Ray. Satyajit, apart from being what he was in his filmmaking, he was an illustrator or artist. He was a music composer and an eminent writer. In today's episode, I shall be talking more about his other areas of expertise or interest because all of us are aware of his brilliance in filmmaking, though I shall be touching about his film career on and off. But before talking about his areas of excellence, let me fill you up with his personal details. Satyajit Roy was born in 1921 in Kolkata. His family was very eminent in the field of art and literature. His grandfather Upendra Kishore was a pioneer in literature and arts, and apart from having his own publishing house, he was an acclaimed writer. Satyajit's father Shukumar Ray was a critic, a brilliant illustrator, pioneer of nonsense rhyme, and a children's writer who could not fulfill his potentials because he died young at the very tender age of 36. In fact, when Satyajit's father Shukumar passed away, Satyajit was only 3 years old and he has been brought up by his mother. Satyajit completed his graduation from Presidency College, Kolkata, and did his masters from Vishwabharati University in Shantiniketan. He then joined a British ad agency, DJ Kaimar, in 1943 as a junior graphic designer, and much later he also worked for Signet Press, where he was in charge of making the book covers for the books to be published by the press. Satyajit had always been interested in films and he was one of the founder members of the Calcutta Film Society. In a 6 month stint in London, while he was working for Kmart, Satyajit had the occasion to watch many internationally acclaimed foreign films, and among those was Vittorio De Sica's famous Italian neorealist film, The Bicycle Thieves. This film had affected Satyajit to a great extent, and after watching this film, he always thought that he will have to become a filmmaker. He fulfilled his dream of becoming a filmmaker when he made and released Pother Machali in 1955. And after that, there was no looking back for him. In his career, he has made 36 films, has written more than 60 books, and has composed music for 30 of his 36 films. His favorite actor was Soumitra Chatterjee, and he has acted in 14 of Satyajit's films. As a filmmaker, Satyajit has bagged many awards, including many international awards, and the crowning glory is, of course, the Academy Honorary Award or Oscar, which he received in 1992. Till date, he is the only Indian to have received this award. Satyajit married his childhood sweetheart Vijaya in 1949, and his son Shondeep Ray is also a filmmaker. In 1983, Satyajit suffered from a heart attack. Though he survived, after that his health deteriorated and he had always needed support in the later years of his life, while making his films, because he was not able to handle the camera alone. Satyajit died in 1992 after a brief illness, thus ending his illustrious career. At the time of his death, he was 71. Now that we have spoken of his personal life, let me now move on to his other attributes which he could have taken to greater heights had he seriously pursued them. Let me first start with his music. As I have already mentioned, out of 36 films made by Satyajit, he has been the music composer for 30 of his films. In fact, from his seventh film onwards, he has always given music for his films and never utilized the services of any other music director. The question now comes up, how good was he? I leave it to the viewers to judge. I would particularly draw attention to his film made in 1969, Gupigayin Bagabayin, where the music was actually very typical, and he has introduced Anup Ghoshal for the playback singing, and Anup Ghoshal later on became a very famous playback singer. Apart from giving music to his own films, Satyajit has given music to 15 films of other directors. These include James Ivory's Shakespeare Wala, his son Shondeep Roy's Photik Chand, and a 1970 film called Baksho Badal, where apart from being the music director, Satyajit also had written the screenplay. That the other directors has utilized his services for 15 films go on to show that Satyajit was a very good music director and arranged beautiful music for films of his own and for other directors too. In fact, his son Shondeep still takes music from old Satyajit movies and mixes them for his current movies. Moving on now from music, we come to his writings. As I have mentioned that Satyajit has published 60 books, and these are mainly of short stories. He must have written quite a lot. As a writer, in my view, he has followed in the footsteps of his father, because he is mainly a writer for children, or rather young people. However, his books are enjoyed equally by adult readers. I am a big fan of Satyajit, and here is one from my collection of Satyajit books. Before going into his books, let me say that Satyajit has revived the magazine, children's magazine called Sandesh, which was initially started by his grandfather Upendra Kishore in 1913. Satyajit revived this magazine in 1961 and has edited this magazine till his death in 1992. You can group Satyajit's writings into four groups. In group 1 will come The Adventures of Feluda or Pradosh Chandra Mitra, the fictional detective created by Satyajit himself. Feluda's books are written in the traditional detective story style and they are narrated by his cousin Topshe, who also is his assistant. The first adventure of Feluda was published in Sandesh, but later on it used to be annually published in the Pujo special of Desh, the famous Bengali magazine published from Anandabazar Potrika group. A generation of us grew up reading Feluda's adventures, which usually take place in exotic locations within India, and later on there were a few which were also located abroad. The books make very interesting reading, and Satyajit made two films from his Feluda stories. His son Shondip Roy has made a living by making Feluda films only. Moving on to the second group, these are in the form of diaries. Professor Shonku is a fictional professor come scientist who has gone missing, but somehow his diaries remain and the narrations are through these diaries. These are science fictions which are enjoyable for both young and adult readers and make very interesting reading. Shondip Roy has made one film called Professor Shonku El Dorado from one of these books. Now we come to the third group of Satyajit. These are his other works which are mainly short stories. Some of them are science fictions and some of them have a touch of paranormal in them. And a few have been translations of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, but not his Sherlock Holmes stories. Apart from these three groups, the fourth group is of the three books which Satyajit made on filmmaking. These are all very popular with the film critics and film fraternity. Time now to take a look at one of his short stories more deeply. But before that, I would like to share with you viewers my personal experience of meeting the great man himself. This had happened in 1961, nearly 50 years back. I had gone with my family to Shantiniketan for Poush Mela, which takes place in the last week of December. My father was invited by the organizers of Poush Mela, and so we were accommodated in the official guest house of the organizer. Satyajit was also accommodated there. My father and Satyajit were contemporaries in presidency and they were knowing each other well. It was my father who introduced me to Satyajit. And I still remember he asked my name and he must have spoken some very encouraging words which my now memory fails me and I cannot remember. But what I remember is Satyajit's moving around in the Poush Mela, his 6 foot 4 inch frame draped in a grey coat with a camera in his shoulder. This image will be etched in my memory till the very end. Time now to go for his short story, Potal Babu Film Star. Potal Babu is a middle-aged person who is down and out in life. He was once upon a time an amateur actor, but nowadays, because he has to run for making both ends meet, he feels that acting is was in another life. During this phase of his life, he gets an offer to act in a small role in a film with a very famous director and a very popular hero. Of course, he will be remunerated for his efforts. Potul Babu on the appointed date very punctually goes to the shooting location and asks for the dialogue. The dialogue is also promptly provided to him, which is written in a folded piece of white paper. He is very excited and goes off to another side of the location and exclusively sees what is there in the dialogue. But what is this? He finds that only a word "ah" is written in that white sheet of paper. He thinks that somebody has played a practical joke on him and throws away the paper. He is about to leave and go home when he suddenly realizes that the small word "ah" can be spoken in different fashion. If you are annoyed and say "ah" in an irritated fashion, it will definitely not be the same when after coming back from a hot day you take a cool drink and say "ah." They are completely in different style. At the same time, he realizes and remembers that his one-time mentor, who is long dead, has told when he started acting that whatever may be the part, whatever may be the dialogue, it is for the actor to bring out the best. And if he brings out the best, he will derive great satisfaction. Potter Babu decides that he will go for the shoot. The shooting is successful in the first take itself, including his dialogue delivery, and the director and as well as the hero, both of them praise him for his efforts. He is asked to wait in one side so that he will be remunerated after the shooting is over. But when the man who comes with his remuneration comes to the spot, he doesn't find Potul Babu there. Potul Babu had left the shooting spot without the remuneration because he understood that the satisfaction he derived by acting after so many years cannot be measured in terms of money, so he has left. Time now for me to leave too. But before leaving, I am going to say only this much, that since Satyajit was inspired by a neorealist film which enabled him to become a filmmaker of repute, I would have loved to see a neorealist film made by Satyajit, because all his films were made from very well-known literature. With this, I take your leave and thank you all, and a big namaste to you, and see you all in the next episode.